Okay, let's see who we have next here. As I sit here nicely in this beautiful sun, there's a hawk right in front of me on the very tip of a tree. And the wind's blowing, but it stays balanced. I don't know if that's significant. Let's see what we have here. Aries. Okay, Aries. Again, these are the original zodiacs before they transferred them over to the 12 zodiacs. So before they dropped Ophiuchus. Aries, April 19th to May 13th. Gall, Pancreas, Tuesday, Diamond, Ram, Mars, Emerald, Iron, and Carnelian. Lately, Carnelian's been really significant. Same with Tiger's Eye. I don't know if you're going through battle royale with certain people, but keep that in mind if you do use certain crystals and gemstones and stuff like that to amplify what it is that you need. Do a little bit more research to find out what's going to help you, okay? Pride, state or quality of being proud, inordinate self-esteem, cause of pride, glory, delight, highest pitch. That could be a frequency. So if you're in high vibes right now, don't let anybody bring you down. Some people could say that pride comes before the fall, but a healthy form of pride is okay. If you're staying balanced, as that hawk is, and people are trying to knock you from the top, and you've worked very hard to get there, keep in mind you're allowed to stay humble, but at the same time, like I said, a healthy form of pride is okay. Splendid show, indulge pride, to value oneself. That would be self-love. Okay, let's see what else can we get. I decided to go for a little bit of a drive. Whoa, all of them come out at once. At the very bottom of all that was justice. So I'm just going to take that one because I didn't see the rest of the cards. So you bring in a form of justice of your own. Again with the balance. Again with liberty. Sort of pulling between the two. You've got the third eye chakra is lit, and you've got the root chakra as well. Maybe you have a good balance between the two of those. Understanding what drives you, understanding what pushes you forward, understanding and seeing what lies in front of you, but that you're only responsible for yourself, and as she holds the sword as well, your words. Having a form of guidance, your crown chakra is activated as well. That could be what allows you to tap into your higher source, your inner child. You have a lot of ancestors watching over you. I don't know if you see above this here in the carving, the wood carving, but all those stars above you, ancestors before you leading your way. 1 after 10, so that's 11. That can be symbolic for 2, which can be twins, twin flame, or unity within oneself. And whatever decisions you've made up to this very point, you even have a belt with blue on it too. Whatever judgments you've made, whatever words you've spoken to other people, for the most part, you've done it with good intention. Because all of us have, you know, our moments and stuff. She's even surrounded by blue flowers as well. And you have guidance maybe from 2 male figures. These could be 2 of your ancestors, past loved ones. 1 on either side. So 1 from your mother's side, 1 from your father's side. Very peaceful and calm. That's what I'm getting for that. Okay, what else can we get for Aries? Good catch. The Hangman. Yeah, you have a new perspective of certain things and how things are working in this reality. Things, you know how they say things are not what they seem. I think you're getting a better grasp on things. You may be a younger individual between the age of 30 and 40. You're starting to understand that it's not always just the fruits of your labor, but it's also the seeds that you plant within yourself, within other people. That could be the words that you speak right here in the form of justice. You understand right and wrong. You understand that not everybody's going to have the same viewpoint as you. You understand that sometimes you need to take a moment. And he seems quite peaceful, just hanging upside down on his own. He doesn't really seem to be bothered. You could be masculine or feminine. I'm picking up a feminine energy. The bird's kind of just looking at him, and it almost looks like the bird has has like a little crown of its own. That could be one of your ancestors, willing to just pick away at that rope to not necessarily allow you to drop, but to free yourself. So maybe you're getting the intuition, you're getting the signs and synchronicities, you're starting to listen to your higher self. As I said, you're in tune with your crown chakra especially, and your third eye. You're starting to see that if you just allow yourself to take in the information that's given to you, observe your surroundings, see what's around you, the signs even, that you can make better judgment calls for your own life. You may not always show other people what exactly you see. You may not be open to sharing everything that you know, and that's okay. You're allowed to keep your cards to yourself. You don't have to, like the diamond, you know, people have to see your worth and value in order for you to open up or shine. Like the light has to be shone on you to see that rainbow, to see that. What else we got here? 3 of Coins. So you may have felt like other people, especially when it comes to masculine energies, have come in and kind of taken from you. It doesn't mean you've lost your gifts or anything like that. Please don't get the wrong impression. Just because other people come along and they try to distract you, or they try to take from you, or they try to siphon from you, doesn't mean you just lose everything all at once. No, that is something that the divine universe itself is control over, because you're a part of that. So when your higher self deems you to be unfit or unworthy, or you're doing things with malintention, and you truly know right from wrong, especially, I'm not talking about a karmic state, I'm talking about a more enlightened state, you will cut yourself off from certain things. So if you're constantly giving yourself away to other people that have entity attachments, or you're constantly sharing your gifts with other people that aren't really necessarily deserving, your higher self knows better. Your higher self may kind of limit you, or pull back your energy and have you sit down with yourself so you can kind of reassess the situation. But for the most part, I have a feeling you already know this. You're well aware of it. Maybe it's kind of gotten you a little bit frustrated or confused, because like you want to be able just to shine and be your authentic self, and you don't really want to worry about the people around you. But at the same time, every single person that's come in has kind of taken you for granted, or they've taken you for something, and they just kind of walk off with it. You got the solar plexus, and you got your throat chakra, and holding a bag of red. So that could be baggage that you've accumulated, maybe from childhood, or anything that has to do with your roots. This could be passed down to you from your ancestors as well. They're just lessons that you need to go over. But like I said, you got a better perspective of how things are playing out. And you do mean well, and you do bring in your own justice as well as justice for other people too. Aries is not typically somebody that shies away from battle. It's not typically somebody that's worried about confrontation or conflict. And you do a lot of things out of the heart. You're not really worried about what other people have to say. It just sucks sometimes. I understand the feeling. I really do. I get it when you're trying to do your own thing, and other people want to kind of come at you and create barriers or blockages, or just put shit in your way to distract you. But you have to use that third eye chakra. Like I said, you see what most people do not see. You're very, very aware of this. So just use it to your advantage. Don't be afraid of your gifts. Please don't be afraid of your gifts. Maybe you have other people that really look up to you as well, and you want to kind of set a good example. You're afraid of screwing up, but we all make mistakes. We all get a little bit distracted, especially from other entities or people around you. It happens, but it's an opportunity to learn something new. So don't think that just because you go one way that it can't be straightened out. 8 of Cups, you've already started on your journey. This could be new to you, or you could be very fluent on going journeys. Just because you're going on a journey right now and some things are hidden from you doesn't mean that you haven't got the guidance that you need. Again, with the stars up top here, this person here that's going on their journey has their guidance, has their ancestors, can be in touch with things, especially emotion. Feet wet. Don't be afraid of getting your feet wet. Maybe you're not a strong swimmer, and I could mean that here in the 3D. It doesn't necessarily mean emotions, but it very well could be. If you need to take swimming lessons, or you're afraid of that sort of thing, any fears that you acknowledge that you haven't kind of dove into yet, approach one at a time. Let's say you're afraid of swimming, or you're not a strong swimmer. Okay, take lessons. They're really not that expensive. You can go to the YMCA or any place like that and start to learn. Or maybe you're afraid of navigating things on your own. Like for myself, I've got a GPS. If I were to navigate around a new city, would I be comfortable listening to my intuition and following direction? Or would I have to be completely what would you call that? Codependent on allowing somebody else to guide me. So you have to be able to listen to yourself. You have to be able to trust yourself, and you have to be able to make certain decisions on your own and not necessarily depend on other people or your ancestors. You can ask them for help, you can ask them for guidance, but ultimately it comes down to you and what you want to do. What direction do you want to go in? And this person, if I were to be facing out this way, is going to the left. So I'm assuming you're taking things a little bit more logically than emotionally. Maybe you want to get more into your creative side so that your logic and creative abilities are more in balance. Both sides of you are balanced. And again, when it comes to certain urges or things that people offer you, it could be temptation. It doesn't have to be in a sexual manner, but it very well could be. Don't let anybody take advantage of you or allow them space to betray you. But at the same time, don't go into it thinking that's all that's going to happen, because that's what you very well could manifest, especially if you have a lot of gifts. Ace of Swords, your truth is your power for both sides, both the solar plexus and your root chakra. You wear your crown within you. It's not necessarily on the tip of your sword or on your head, okay? Nobody can knock this from you. Nobody could steal it from you. You ultimately hold the power within yourself to do what it is that you see fit, especially when it calls for justice. If there's people around you and you see the injustice and you want to stand up for them, by all means do so, but make sure you are well first. Make sure you're okay first and you're balanced so that you can help other people if that's what you choose to do. You could be somebody that speaks to a lot of individuals. This could be a teacher, or this could be somebody that's a tutor. Something to do with making jewelry as well. I don't know how that would coincide with the speaking. I'm getting mood ring. Maybe you teach other people what gems and crystals to wear. It's very interesting. 5 of Coins. You're not interested in any third-party situations. This is in the reverse. You're not interested without equal give and take. Like, you're not interested in getting into helping individuals that are just going to take from you. So yeah, you've learned the lesson already. As I said, you've got a different point of view, different perspective. You've kind of flipped things just so you could see both sides or both nodes, south node and north node. So you could be balanced within yourself as well. That's the whole yin and yang, masculine and feminine. This individual here, even though it's in the reverse, looks like he's reaching for money and pentacles. It looks like his hand is out. And you very well could be sitting comfortably, especially when it comes to your finances. You could be sitting very comfortably and you don't really want to give a handout to anybody, especially if they haven't earned it. And people that walk by on a regular basis that just try to absorb energy from you, or they just want contact with you without equal exchange, they don't even say thank you, are not the kind of people you want to be around. I'm hearing asshole. Okay, well, let's see for the love oracle card for Aries. So whether you're single or you're with somebody right now, let's see what we can get for Aries. What's the love oracle card? 9-9. Seeing a lot of 9s. Completion. Abundance. You're keeping your love life secret. That's fine. Butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. So you could very well, on your journey, be going within and doing the healing work that you need to. It's very important that you do this because it's going to allow you to manifest quicker and bring in and call in. If you are an empress or emperor, then you're used to things coming to you. And maybe at this time it's kind of like subsided a little bit and not so much is coming in towards you. Don't have any fears. Don't focus on that. It's not punishment. You're not being punished by the divine. It's just you giving yourself an opportunity to reflect on certain things, and that's part of the journey as well. If you're worried about your keys or your gifts or anything like that, don't worry about that. Just focus on speaking your truth. Focus on doing what's just and fair. Okay, and focus on whatever it is that you really enjoy doing. Next phase, you could be leveling up too. There's a part of you that's still maybe suffering. Just a second, I'm gonna have a sip here. If you're indulging in anything like wine or something like that, or you're hitting the liquor because of the suffering that you haven't healed from yet, you're already doing the work. You're already healing from portions of yourself that were beaten down, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, alcohol isn't a solution. It's great, makes you feel great, especially temporarily, but most people that overindulge anyways have a hangover the next day, and it's really not worth it. If you have one glass, or you just do it at celebrations or something, there's nothing wrong with that either, but keep in mind, intention's everything. So when you go to do something, even in moderation, it's your intention behind it as well. All right, you're already going to the next phase, so heed that warning and take precaution when you do certain things. What is your intention behind it? For the most part, you have really good intention, but you just don't know what the intention of other people are. And maybe that's got you in your head a little bit. It's got you a little conflicted, which is understandable, but you can't control what they do. So a little bit of acceptance, wisdom to know that you're in control of yourself. You cannot control other people and what they do. What they choose to do is their free will. And unfortunately, sometimes it has an impact on us, but that's why you're also in charge of who you have around you. Seeing silver, the balance between the two. What else can we get for Aries? Aries. Maybe you feel small around certain people. The runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. I want to say I struggle with this too. The fear of intimacy. It's like when you've given your all to an individual in the past, okay? The new individual comes into your life. There's certain things you've already learned from the past, and there's certain things you've yet to learn. What happens with your ego is it wants to keep you safe. And in the ego, it keeps you in a state of fear, which is not attracting anything. It's actually repelling. It's the opposite. So when you're with a new person and you expect that they're going to do the similar things that another person did, that's what you're calling in. When you're with a new person and you have a fear of giving your all to somebody, you have to be able to discern what is fair and just and what is reasonable to withhold. So If you get in a new relationship, if you're single right now, or you're currently in a relationship and you're wondering whether or not you should give your all to somebody, what is your intention behind it? Are you expecting something in return? Are you expecting that things aren't going to work out and that you're going to get hurt? Are you expecting that if you give your heart to another person and you're going to be comfortable with them, that they'll be loving and reciprocating that to you as well? Do you trust the other person? Again, with the intention behind it is really important. Your brain is that powerful. It can and will manifest for you your reality in front of you so that you learn whatever lessons you need to. And usually runner and chaser, this one's just runner specifically. If you run away from certain situations because it gets too difficult and you don't want to face your own shadow side, the person in front of you is reflecting and showing to you what you need to see. Let's say you're in a combative relationship and the person's always starting shit with you. And then you realize, because you don't mind conflict and you don't mind confrontation, and you get in it with other people, it's showing you a bit about yourself so that you can maybe dial it back a little bit and just observe and listen instead of getting right into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're giving you a piece of you. They are showing you a bit about yourself. When you have love and understanding and compassion about the other person, and you realize, oh, okay, so this is a part of myself that maybe I'm rejecting and I'm not looking at. This is a part of myself that maybe my ego's not allowing me to fully see, so that I can learn the lesson that I need to. And I don't want to give you a whole lecture on that, but I'm pretty sure you get where I'm going with that. And it's not to hate on you. It's not to hold you back from anything. It's just to have you understand that you can love all of yourself, okay? Your shadow side, your light side, you can love all of you. And that will be a reflection on the outside of what's coming in towards you. As messed up as that sounds, it's usually how it goes. Most of the time it's it's like the code. It's like a written code, unwritten code. Okay, what else can we get for Aries? Maybe when you do take the time to go in and reflect, you can be really hard on yourself. Not enough. Automatically, this doesn't feel like external. This feels internal. Frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear/ego issues, and jealousy. I'm not picking up the jealousy with this one. What's standing out to me is, although you have tons of confidence and you have no problem getting into it with other people in a just and fair manner, right? You still, when it comes to other things, and it could be in relationships, and when it comes to love, your heart chakra could have really been given a run for its money, you know. It could really, for its value and worth is what I'm speaking. It could have really been crushed in the past, and that's what you're struggling to get past, which is a form of confidence and not feeling that you are necessarily good enough for other people. You know you're good enough. You freaking know it, like to the T. But as far as feeling it within yourself, are you good enough for you is what I'm getting at. Do you feel good enough for you? Or is there something that you're battling with that was installed early, that you should feel that you're not adequate enough when that's not true? You already know better. You know the difference. You're fully aware of it. You have no problem speaking. You have no problem fighting for justice or standing up for yourself. You have no problem with it. Add 3, 4, 5. 5 is change, okay? So it's a mentality. It's literally your mentality. It's you sitting down with yourself and being like, you know what? I am enough. Regardless of how this is going to go, even in the relationship with myself, my endeavors, whatever it is that I'm doing, I am good enough. I've proven that to myself again and again. I've shown other people, not that I need their acknowledgement or acceptance, but I've shown more than enough. I've done more than was expected of me. My ancestors know, and they're cheering me on. They already know that I'm good enough. So that umbrella could be blocking out your solar plexus too. You might enjoy just being kind of, I know this sounds weird, you might enjoy not knowing, because it kind of puts you in a state of innocence. But if you're fighting for justice and you're doing things with good intention, you already are innocent. So whatever you feel you need to plead, it could just be an old way of thinking, like old programming, maybe constantly being blamed for things that weren't your fault, constantly taking on the baggage of grown-ups around you if you were little, constantly feeling that other people are judging you unfairly. But all it is that you're empathic, you were absorbing other people's energy around you and you didn't know the difference, quite possibly, and you weren't able to separate your energy and another's. So other people that seen you, you may have been embodying energy of other people that were around you, especially toxic people. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something you really have to learn on your own. You really have to learn that some people are used to traditional ways of thinking. And they really don't see the difference between the two. They really don't see that their actions have an effect on you and that you are a good person. You have a big heart. Making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, and being happier. Again, with the healthy choices. Again, with knowing the difference between the two. Again, with not putting up with other people trying to sabotage or get you to sabotage yourself. Give yourself some space, eat healthy. You will be happier, but you have to be self-fulfilled first. This feels really deep, like the energy is ridiculous. It's just constant bombarding. You're really hard on yourself more than other people are, believe it or not. If you were to put up a chart on other people's responses and how they think about you, let's say we had the mentality chart. The way other people think about you are at this level of hardship, and then the way you think about yourself is like this level for the bar graph, okay? So you're like a ton more hard on yourself than other people around you, if that makes sense. And you're really only punishing yourself, even though you don't need to. I think you've been punished enough, Aries. What else can we get for past life oracle card for Aries? Finances. You are abundant. All right? There's no question about it. You can create whatever you need to create for yourself. Through every fold. Through every fold, like material, like layers, the different layers of you. There's a different set of abundance, and it doesn't just have to be finances. For every layer you peel back, that makes sense. Thank you. For every layer you peel back, there's a new set of wealth and riches and value within yourself. Again, with the healthy choices. Okay, but you're already going on your journey. You're already aware of this, or this is something you're becoming aware of. Yeah, you're already aware of this. You already know this, though. You've seen the rewards when you admit certain things to yourself. Monk or nun. So again, these are past life oracle cards. This could have been something that your family line, your ancestors have followed suit. Like something they did. They could have prayed a lot. They could have done their own rituals for when it comes to being grateful. You yourself may have like a little shrine or a little thing, something to do with a mirror as well. This again symbolically has to do with reflection, not just on the inside but outwards. For some reason I'm seeing none, N-U-N, like none, like not enough. What do we just see here? Hopefully that doesn't have to do with the Ace of Clubs in reverse. Okay. I'm not telling you to take a vow of silence or take a vow of celibacy. Basically what I'm saying is be grateful. So if you can show gratitude a little bit more, maybe help other people that actually deserve it around you, help community. It does feel better to do so, those that are deserving that need the help. Recently you could have felt orphaned, or this is an energy you've carried for a long time, whether it be rejection of family members, rejection of acceptance. Again, that whole idea of not being enough for yourself. You see how she's holding herself like that? getting Pocahontas too. The whole wind. Listen to the wind. Listen to the colors of the wind. A lot of thinking. You could be really used to speaking, so when it comes to thinking and sitting down with yourself, you'd like to be more distracted. Don't be afraid to go within. Handle things one thing at a time. If it comes to any past traumas or anything you got to go through, understanding is very important, and you will get through this, okay? You're doing all right. One more card. Oh, wait, no. Let me see these ones here. I have to go pee. If your body's telling you something, do it. Ask your inner child one question and answer honestly. Or you could ask multiple questions, but do one at a time. It's probably a good idea. Yeah, and I'm going to leave it at that, okay? You got this.